Hello Internet, I am Metagross Freak, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Studio Series number 12, Brawl. Now, Brawl appeared in the first Transformers movie, most predominantly during the Mission City battle. Brawl turns into a tank, and to my knowledge he was predominantly seen in tank form, though he did end up becoming robot mode. For lack of a better word, his face is kind of flat looking for some reason. I always imagined it being a little more prominent, like the jowl of like a mouth, like the jowl of a dog, excuse me. But maybe that's just me remembering the more kind of prominence of Hound's mouth. Okay, but yeah, he turns into a tank with like some cool like cow catchers in the front. He's got a neat blade weapon. He's got rockets. He's a cool figure, so I'm looking forward to checking him out. Here is Brawl in robot mode. He's pretty sturdy. He's got a nice big base. He has kind of some weird looking shoulders, but honestly, he's pretty good. I mean, you can definitely tell he's got a lot of tank kibble, especially on the back of his legs and the underside of his arms. And unfortunately, the tank turret itself kind of just sits on his back like a backpack. It'd also be kind of cool if he could do like a blitz wing or even like a laser wave. No, excuse me, not laser wave, a blast wave, and just have the tank on his going over the shoulders. But oh well. The little rocket turrets up here, as well as the cow catcher forks, are all on small ball joints, as well as there are hinges up on the rocket bits, so you actually can get some pretty decent poses on those. And the head, while it is on a bit of a ball joint, you can't really go up and down that much. I mean, you can get a lot of swiveling, so that's kind of nice. I'm not sure if mine was just underpainted or if maybe that's how they're all supposed to be, but the red paint for my figure's eyes are barely visible. I had to like hold him up to a light, and even then I could barely see it. He does come with 3 accessories. 2, technically, if you haven't bothered to remove them. But the first is going to be kind of this big missile launcher. You can definitely tell these are like Transformer-sized missiles, as opposed to like the tiny little human-sized missiles that he carries on his shoulders. But it's pretty nice, and it's got this big scope on the side, so you could easily just put it in either the left hand or the right hand. And it'll, of course, either mount on the ports, the 5mm ports on the wrist, or in the hand, which is pretty neat. The other one is this kind of Wolverine claw, kind of hard to explain here. You can see it's this kind of handheld rake, again, can be held in either the hand or the 5mm peg. And the claws do flex, which is kind of cool. I do like that. But you also have this teeny tiny little minigun, which once again can plug into either the hand or the 5mm peg, but the kind of rectangular peg can also plug into the bottom of the rake tool. So I guess you can shoot people up as you're clawing them to death. Now, technically, you can place it on either one on each hand or one on each wrist, or both on one hand. It's up to you. I kind of like that ability to customize the figure. But you'll notice he's a little stocky, even for a Voyager class, because he is a Voyager class. The 2007 movie version of him was Leader, but this is definitely a lot smaller of a figure. For comparison, here he is with Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see he's taller than Deluxe Class, but overall, the mass isn't too wild in comparison. And then for another comparison, here he is with Cyber Battalion Shockwave, who's in rough scale to a Voyager. You can see Shockwave is actually fairly bigger. Shockwave is taller, he's a little wider, a little bulkier. I'm not sure if it's just the style of the Studio Series figures, but definitely Shockwave is what I would have expected at minimum. I mean, it didn't really make sense for him to be a leader class figure to begin with. I just think that For a Voyager class figure who turns into a tank, he might be just a little small. But that's my opinion, though. Let me know in the comments below what you think and how his scaling should be adjusted, if you think at all. Anyway, that's enough of the robot mode. Let's get it into vehicle. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. So like, you know how like the first step you have to unpeg the cannon? The cannon that can, if you tuck the rocket launcher bits back, can easily point over his head. Remember how I said I wished it could do that? Like blast wave, I said? Or, yeah, you can even have the rockets too. There you go. There you go. Unofficial fan mode. You can have the cannons over his head. Probably go deaf like that. But you can have little mortar launchers. And you can put it down. The transformation for Brawl was pretty fidgety. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm out of practice since I haven't done really any Transformers videos lately, or if it's just because the transformation is kind of weird. You have to essentially finagle this turret around the panels that become the lower half of the turret. Unfortunately, the actual big tank gun itself does not rotate. In fact, this piece here doesn't even move. It's kind of on like a hinge, but it gets locked in place in robot mode. However, it can get some rotation out of this, which isn't great, but it's better than nothing, though you do have to unpeg it. As you can see, the little launchers, little mortar launchers up here are, I don't know, not really loose, but they do move around. I'll just say that. They do move around. You may also notice from the side and from the back that mine doesn't go down all the way. I'm not sure if that's because I mistransformed it, or maybe that's just how the model works. But you can see we've got some camo stripes here of a kind of a gray military green and a dark military green. I think it looks pretty good. We lose a lot of the silver and black that we had originally on the robot mode, but honestly it's fine. And of course you can just mount the weapons on the roof, however silly that may be. Like this claw weapon on top of the roof seems really silly. I think it would be better if you just had the tiny little Gatling gun. It's not great, but at least it's technically weapon storage. For comparison to Brawl, here he is with Transformers Dark of the Moon Shockwave. And you can see, as a Voyager tank is concerned, they're good. They're decently proportioned. Shockwave isn't the end-all be-all when it comes to tanks. We also have, of course, Titan's Return Blitzwing in his tank mode. And again, they scale very well together. You can definitely tell that they are kind of in the same line. Studio Series, Voyager Starscream. And you can see the Starscream, because of his little props, little landing gear, is a bit taller. If we put those down, yeah, he scales very well with Brawl. Starscream's a little bit longer, a little bit wider, but he's also kind of a little bit more flat. Especially once I put these little panels down. So that's my review of Transformers Studio Series Brawl. I would say he's definitely a fairly decent figure. The robot mode, due to the shoulders and head, is kind of a little weird, in my opinion, but not terrible. And the tank mode is a very good looking tank mode. I mean, we can get some swivel on the turret, the little turret, and technically you do have weapon storage as well as a variety of different military-esque weapons. It's not my favorite figure, but I definitely don't regret buying it. Thanks for watching. I've been Metagross Freak, and until next time, keep it real.
Starscream, why do you insist? Starscream, why? Starscream, why do you insist on staying in your chamber?
Because Lord Megatron, Megatron commands it.
Oh yeah, well he's right behind you.
Lord Megatron,
Starscream, what did you say about me?
Here, just a minute. It's again.